In the coldest part of winter, when the lights were longest and the days were shortest, the people of ancient Europe would gather to celebrate the return of the sun. They would light big bonfire, decorate their homes and with evergreen branches, and eat until they were full. But behind all the fun and celebrations, there was a hidden mystery, one that would shape history and the way we celebrate Christmas today. In the northern areas, people celebrated Yule, a festival marking the winter solstice, the darkest night of the year. This lit big bonfires to honor the sun and keep its memory alive. They brought home huge Yule logs and kept them burning as a symbol of light winning over darkness. Meanwhile, in southern Europe, the Romans celebrated their own winter festival called Saturnalia. There was a huge event honoring Saturn, the god of famine, and marked the end of harvest and the start of winter. But Saturnalia was not quite a religious event. It was more like a big carnival where the normal rules were turned upside down and masters the servants switched places. The streets were full of laughter, singing, and celebration. Homes were decorated with green branches. People ate until they couldn't eat anymore. And yes, they even gave gifts, just like we do today. Many of the decorations we use at Christmas, the holly, mistletoe, and wreath, come from those old traditions. They stood for life and growth during the darkest time of the year. But there is more to the story. What the Yule Festival and the North and the Roman Saturnalia were about more than just surviving the winter. They were about letting loose, breaking free from the normal rules, and sometimes taking things too far. These parties could get very wild, and it was a time to eat, drink, and do things that would not be okay during the rest of the year. Some of this still survive today. Ever heard of kissing under the mistletoe? That's a leftover from these old customs about fertility. As Christianity spread, this celebration didn't disappear. Instead, they were changed. The church had a choice: reject this popular tradition or give them new meanings. What happened next will change history and the way we celebrate Christmas forever. The decorations we use today have roots in these old festivals. Evergreens like holly and mistletoe were symbols of life and growth. Mistletoe in particular was seen as special. People believed it had magical powers, bringing health, protection, and good luck. Over time, it became a symbol of love and romance. The next time you see mistletoe at a holiday party, remember, it's more than just a fun excuse to kiss someone. It's a tradition that goes all the way back to these old festivals, where growth and renewal were the main themes. And then there was the feasting. People ate and drank more than they would at any other time of the year. Picture a table full of roasted meat, fresh bread, and mugs of warm spiced wine. It was the ultimate time of indulgence to eat, drink, and be happy without worrying about tomorrow. Sound familiar, right? Today we do the same with Christmas feast, with turkey, desserts, and even the extra big portion. It all comes from the old festival. But back then, it wasn't just about having fun. It was also about surviving. People needed to believe the abundance even during the darkest time. Unfortunately, with all this enjoyment came excess. The rules of everyday life were gone and people gave in to their desires. Gambling was common, drinking was too much, and self-control was forgotten. These festivals often became what we might call today a free-for-all. And yes, some of this survives today. Think of holiday office parties where people drink too much or rush to buy, spend, and indulge during Christmas season. These echoes of you and Saturnalia are still with us, even if we don't realize it. One especially wild tradition was the election of Lord of Mesrule. This person was in charge of the chaos, encouraging everyone to let go of their normal behavior for 12 days, the length of the festival. The Lord of Mesrule could do whatever he wanted. This idea of upside-down world is the root of the 12 days of Christmas. And for early Christians, these wild festivals were a serious problem. How could they celebrate Christ while people around them were indulging in the same pagan customs. They had a choice: reject these old traditions or find a way to change them. What happened next would forever change history. In the early years, most Christians refused to take part in this festival. They saw them as pagan indulgence and totally against the teachings of Christ. After all, how could a celebration filled with drinking, gambling, and wild behavior honor God? For example, in the 4th century, Pope Gregory sent a missionary named Augustine to convert local people to Christianity. But when Augustine arrived, he quickly realized the problem. The people loved their winter festivals, and no amount of preaching could make them give them up. Augustine had a challenge. How could he convince the people to leave their beloved tradition behind? He knew the key wasn't in just rejecting these customs, but in changing them. He took a symbol and a ritual of the old festival and gave them a new meaning. The evergreen, the holly, and the mistletoe became a symbol of eternal life and the hope of Christian return. The feasting and gift-giving became a celebration of Magi, who brought gifts to baby Jesus. And the Lord of Misrule, he became a symbol of Christ, the King of Kings who came to bring order and hope to a chaotic world. So the early Christians took the old festivals and changed them into celebration of Christ's birth. They took the symbols and tradition of the old ways and gave them a new meaning. They created a new holiday and one that would honor God and bring people together in joy. And that's how Christmas, as we know it today, began. But the misery doesn't end there. As we celebrate Christmas now, we are still influenced by the old tradition that came before us. We still decorate our homes with evergreen, we still feast, we still give gifts, and we still celebrate the return of Son. But now we do it with a new meaning, one that honors God and celebrates the birth of Christ. The mystery of the winter solstice is a reminder that our tradition and custom aren't just random habits, but are rooted in deep history and a desire to connect with something greater. So as we celebrate Christmas, let's remember the old tradition that came before us. Let's honor the symbols and customs that have passed down to us. And let's celebrate the birth of Christ, who came to bring order and hope to a chaotic world. In the mystery of winter solstice, we find the true meaning of Christmas, a celebration of hope, joy, and redemption that has passed down through the ages.